Good morning to all of you. Okay, so today we are going to start a current affairs series. Okay, I have already told you that our team and personally I tried so hard to start and initiate this current affairs series. Okay, so today I am initiating it. So I hope all of you are taking it seriously. Okay, so let's start today's session, that is about current affairs. And see, I am starting this current affairs series from May month 2020. Okay, from May 2020 to September 2021 I will cover. Okay, because UPSC generally asks hardly 17-18 months current affairs. Okay, not more than that. Okay, it's enough. So I will not take any risk and I will not cover only 1 year. Instead of that I will cover almost 70 to 80 months. Okay, so let's start today's session and we are moving to the next one. Okay, next slide, so that we can analyze today's session. So I have already told you about today's current affairs session. Okay, so let's see what is today's topic of current affairs. Okay, so moving to the next slide and we will see that what is our today's topic about our current affairs series. Now let's see today's our topic is Vizag gas leak. Okay, Vizag gas leak. Fine, you can see, if it is visible to all of you, you can see that this is a acetylene gas which is flowing out. Okay, flowing out of this plant. Okay, this plant. Fine, so it's not figure is too important for you, but I have put this one, our team has put this one so that you can remember it for a more time. Okay, because whenever you will visualize anything, your mind is more capable to capitalize and memorize the whole things in a much better way. That's why our team has put this. Okay, so Vizag gas leak is our today's first point of about the discussion of current affairs series. Okay, it's the news of month of May 2020. Okay, it is also so important, don't confusing it that it's a May 2020 current affairs, so UPSC will not ask that, don't go in it. Okay, even UPSC can ask, it's 5% chance that UPSC can ask even March 2020 current affairs too. It is possible, but little bit less, but it's too important for all of us. Okay, so we will see some details about what are the important parts of this Vizag gas leak. Okay, Vizag gas leak means what? Vizag gas leak means Vizag is not a name of any kind of gaseous form. Okay, Vizag is a place in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, in Visakhapatnam. That is why it's called as Vizag gas leak tragedy. Okay, like Bhopal gas tragedy, as I hope all of you know, and at least you have heard about that Bhopal gas tragedy. Okay, in the same way, it's not that kind of hazardous. Okay, but almost 10 people have been died. Fine, in this way, and several people injured. So this is a Vizag gas leak tragedy. Okay, Vizag is a place in Andhra Pradesh. Fine, so now let's moving to the next slide, and now we will see the whole things about this gas leak tragedy. Okay, so moving to the next one, and now please be focused. Okay, because these kinds of session are, I can say that, most important one for even for preliminary to your interview. Okay, so be aware about that what I am saying right now. Okay, otherwise if you will command on the whole subjects, or you don't have any kind of command on current affairs, in which way I will teach you right now, then it's only a time fact. Okay, you are not going to qualify the exam, so please be focused here. See, acetylene gas, okay, that power plant, okay, power plant of in Vizag, in which gas was actually stored, it's acetylene gas. Okay, acetylene gas. So this gas was actually leaked from that plant. Okay, so what was the name of that plant? So let's see, it was LG Polymer Factory. Okay, LG Polymer Factory. Okay, LG Polymer Factory, which is located in Visakhapatnam in Vizag in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, Andhra Pradesh is a state, as all of you know. Okay, in which Visakhapatnam is a place also under the state of Andhra Pradesh. okay, under which Vizag is a place in Visakhapatnam. That's why I have called it Vizag gas leak tragedy. So a steam gas is a really important fact, okay, because UPSC can ask that choose the correct statements about the tragedy gas leak of which one, Vizag. Then some other gaseous form will you put and say that it has been leaked from that power plant. No, so you have to remember the fact that it is astrine gas leak. Okay, astrine was the gaseous form. Okay, astrine was the form of gas which has been leaked from that power plant of Vizag. Okay, that is located in Visakhapatnam in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. But remember one thing also, it's leaked from LG Polymer factory. I will also tell you the whole details about LG Polymer factory as well as what are the effects of this gas, astrine gas. Okay, because see, UPSC is not a that kind of examination under which direct kind of facts will be asked. Okay, direct kind of facts will not be asked. Okay, it may be possibility that asked. Okay, under the four statements of any of the questions or preliminary. Okay, it is possible that one fact will be put, but apart from that, what actually UPSC do that, if there is an incident happened, like a gas tragedy incident happened, so if this incident has took place in Vizag, okay, in the state of Andhra Pradesh, then it's more of a possibility to find out that what are the side effects of astrine gas. Okay, what are the geographical location of Visakhapatnam. So as all of you know that Andhra Pradesh, apart from the Andhra Pradesh, whenever I teach you about the geographical locations of India in geography section, you will all know about Visakhapatnam. So right now it's the session of only current affairs. Okay, so I will tell you the whole things about astrine gas side effects, what is LG Polymer factory, something details about LG Polymer factory. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see what is actually astrine. I hope you are hearing this gaseous form name the first time. Okay, astrine, but this is so hazardous. Okay, this is so hazardous that anyone can go means totally in contradiction form of his life. Okay, so what are the side effects? Actually, what is astrine? First of all, what is astrine? Let's see. Okay, in which way astrine gas behave. Okay, so let's see in next slide that what is the form of astrine and what are the side effects of astrine. So let's see, be focused. See, it's highly flammable gas. Means highly flammable means if there is a simple thing like if anyone match a stick even burnt, okay, even the nearest form of this power plant of astrine gas power plant in Vizag in Andhra Pradesh, then this will pick up the fire. Okay, that's why highly flammable. Highly flammable is it has the capacity to catch up even the low flame. Low flame means even any smoking. Okay, any smoking can also pick up fire if that smoking took place around that power plant. Fine, if any kind of a leak will happen and even a low flame will come in contact in those gaseous form like astrine, then astrine picked up fire. Okay, in so quickly that it's so difficult to control that. Okay, fine. The second thing, first of all, it's highly flammable. Okay, it's a fact. Okay, it's a fact, remember it. Highly flammable and release poisonous gas when burnt. Okay, when burnt. So see, if this astrine gas is not in the form of burning, means not catching fire from any other things, then it is not so hazardous, but when it will catch the fire, it becomes much more hazardous. Okay, and it is spread around 4 to 5 kilometer radius of areas. Fine. So what are the actually the main facts related to astrine gas? I hope it's clear to all of you. Highly flammable and release poisonous when come in contact with any kinds of burning thing. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So moving to the next one. See, astrine has not only side effects but used in various kinds of products making. Okay, Astrine is really useful. That's why its plants had been set up in Vizag. So what are the usage of Astrine gas? Okay, so let's see what are the uses. It's used in making electric fan blades. Okay, electric fan blades. Fine. I hope all of you are getting fan blades. Okay. So another thing, containers and cosmetic products. In cosmetic products formation, Astrine is really play an important role. Okay. So these are some important useful parts related to Astrine gas. If there will be some positive aspects of anything, there will be also some negative aspects. Fine. So this is the positive aspects of Astrine gas. Okay. So a question may come that what is the necessity to set up that power plant? So you can give your arguments that see, India wants to be self-dependent nation. That's why India has set up this power plant in Vizag to produce its own fan blades, electrical things, containers and cosmetic products. Okay. So you can give your arguments in this way. Okay. So in this way, even your preparation for mains is going to be a strongly behaving. Okay. So I am moving to the next one. I hope it is clear to all of you. So let's see what the next thing is saying actually. See. Now the side effects. See. If a person inhales means I hope all of you are getting it. Okay. Means you are inhaling O2 oxygen. Okay. You are inhaling O2 na. That's why you are living, surviving on this earth. So if any person inhales Astrine gas, then okay, then it will affect on nervous system. It's so hazardous. Okay, when you will inhale Astrine gas, then it becomes so hazardous that it can damage your nervous system. Okay, damage your nervous system. Apart from damaging nervous system, it can also affect on, see, changes in color vision. Okay, affects on eyesighting too. Okay, changes in color vision means eyesighting. Okay, problems in eyesighting. Okay, not only it slowed reaction time. Slowed reaction time means what? Means that's it. Reaction time means when I will see this line and the reaction of mind to explain these things, it is called reaction time. Okay, by touching this, by okay means by putting my hand on this board, okay, if my reaction is that I am hurting myself, then it's reaction time. Okay, so it slowed down reaction time. It means totally it will affect your nervous system. Okay, all things means same, it totally going to affect your nervous system. Slowed your reaction time as well as concentration problems too. Concentration problem means if you are staying here and I am focusing on camera, and if I will inhale Astrine gas, then it will become so difficult for me that even it is possible that I am not going to face this camera. Okay, I am thinking that I am facing this camera, but actually in reality I am not facing this camera. Okay, so in concentration problem too. So it's all the one things, the one main issue is that it affects nervous system, because this all the side effects is related with nervous system. So I hope what are the effects if anyone will inhale the Astrine gas. So what are the side effects? This PPT is totally clear to all the doubts relating to the side effects of Astrine gas. So now let's moving to the next slide. Okay, now let's see about something about LG Polymers. LG Polymers factory, because this gas has been leaked from LG Polymer factory. So we don't even have to just remember the fact that Astrine is the gas which has been leaked from LG Polymer factory. Yes, this should be remembered. But apart from that, you should know that what is Astrine, what are the positive parts of Astrine gas, what are the negative parts of Astrine gas, as well as what is the logic behind the formation of LG Polymer factory and what is LG Polymer factory. So now I will tell you details about LG Polymer factory. So let's see some history about LG Polymer factory. Okay, so LG Polymer factory was originally established in 1961. It's it's so old. Okay, are you getting it? It's almost 60 years old. Now it's almost 60-year old a company factory, that is LG Polymer factory. But at that time, whenever it was established, it was not known as LG Polymer factory. Listen my words carefully, otherwise you are going to miss this question. Right now, whenever this gas has been leaked from that power plant, at that time, at that present time in 2020 May month, okay, fine, this power plant was known as LG Polymer factory. But when this factory has been set up originally in 1961, okay, then this factory was not known as LG Polymer factory. At that time, originally it was known as Hindustan Polymer, Hindustan Polymers. So it means for what purpose this Hindustan Polymers has been established? So it is established for the purpose of manufacturing of polystyrene. Okay, polystyrene. I hope what is polystyrene, it's don't even need to what is polystyrene, and we don't need to go inside about what is polystyrene. It's not going to ask by UPSC. Fine. So what are any kind of things I which looking at this may be asked, I am clarifying all the doubts, and whichever I think that it cannot be asked, definitely 100% surely I am lifting that, because whatever the necessary things in the examination, according to the examination, I will teach only that parts. But trust me, no single facts I will left. Okay. So I am repeating it again. In May 2020, a styrene gas has been leaked from Vizag power plant. That power plant is known as LG Polymer factory, and LG Polymer factory was established in 1961. But at that time, this factory was known as, this company was known as originally as Hindustan Polymers. And for which purpose it was established in 1961? For the purpose of manufacturing of polystyrene. So I hope it is clear to all of you. I am repeating the whole things again. Okay, 2 to 3 times. So I am moving to the next slide. See students, after established in 1961 as Hindustan Polymers, okay, after 17 years in 1978, LG Polymer factory means Hindustan Polymers. At that time it was Hindustan Polymers. Okay, so Hindustan Polymers actually merged with MC Dowell and Corporation. Okay, MC Dowell and Corporation, a foreign company of the UB group. Okay, of the UB group. So what is the UB group and what are the facts related to UB groups? These are not asking by UPSC. Okay, this can only be asked in international relation questions, and even this is possibility according to UB group, then I will definitely teach you. So see, again I am repeating it. In 1961 it was established as Hindustan Polymers. After that, to manufacture polystyrene, after 17 years of establishing Hindustan Polymers, in 1978 Hindustan Polymers was merged with McDowell and Corporation of the UB group and was taken over by South Korea. Okay, South Korea based, South Korea based is not based, it is based. Okay, based means located in South Korea based LG Chem. In South Korea, a company named as LG Chem. Okay, LG Chem. So what actually happens? See, in 1961 Hindustan Polymers has been established. After establishing Hindustan Polymers for the purpose of manufacturing of polystyrene, then after 17 years of that establishment, in 1978 what actually happened, that this was merged with, Hindustan Polymers was merged with McDowell and Corporation. Okay, and merged with McDowell and Corporation, and now this merger of Hindustan Polymers and McDowell and Corporation was taken by a South Korean based LG Chem, a South Korean based factory, or you can say company, that is named as LG Chem, okay, in 1997, fine, and renamed as LG Polymers. So L means now originally it is Hindustan Polymers, in 1961 establishment, fine. After 17 years of establishment, in 1978 this Hindustan Polymers was merged with McDowell & Corporation, okay, and after merging with McDowell & Corporation, now two things merged, Hindustan Polymers plus what is McDowell & Corporation, and both those things is overtaken by South Korean company, that is LG Chem, in which year? In 1997, okay, 1997. So after 9 years of merger of McDowell & Corporation and Hindustan Polymers, after 9 years of merger in 1997, this merged company was not known as a merging company, now known as LG Polymers, and from that time till now it is known as LG Polymer Factory. So I have told you the whole things related what is LG Polymer Factory, okay. So I am moving to the next slide. Yeah, now let's see actually what happened. See, here is NHRC. NHRC means National Human Rights Commission. It's the commission who is actually defending the liberty, dignity of the individual, okay, of the individual. National Human Rights Commission. I will tell you more details about National Human Rights Commission. So see in which way this current affairs series is going on. Okay, if I want, I can finish this topic in just 5 minutes by putting the facts, but UPSC is not going to ask that examination, okay. UPSC is not going to ask that kind of question in their examination. UPSC will ask, okay, some questions apart from that leak. So here if NHRC has playing its role, then definitely it's a possibility that UPSC will ask, or UPSC may ask a question based on NHRC, National Human Rights Commission. So I will tell the whole things also about National Human Rights Commission itself here. So see how the all things correlated, okay, how the all things correlated. See, even you can take a screenshots of these slides. You can take it a screenshots of these slides. If you are facing any problems to remember it, you can take it a screenshots. See, NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, since 10 people has been dead. See, 10 people has been dead and many people has been injured. Many people has vacated his place, okay, vacated his place where those are surviving, actually those are residents nearby those places of the incidents. So those are vacating, several have been injured, 10 people has been dead. So that's why NHRC, now the duty of NHRC has come, because it's the duty of NHRC to defend the liberty, dignity of the individual, okay, the livelihood of the individual. So National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, issues notice to Andhra Pradesh government and even to the central government. Central government means Indian government. So NHRC issues notice to both the governments, at the state government and to the also the Union Government of India, that why this kind of incident took place, okay, give the reasons, okay. 10 people had been dead and several injured, so you have to take the authority and responsibility. You have the authority, so you have the responsibility too. So that's why NHRC has issued notice to both the government, a state government as well as central government. I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am erasing it. After erasing it, I am moving to the next slide. So moving to the next one, okay. Now let's see what is NHRC, how NHRC is responsible, why any other is not issuing notice, why only NHRC is issuing notice, okay. So these kinds of facts actually UPSC asks. UPSC is not going to ask the simple facts, okay. So now we will see that what is NHRC of India. NHRC is also NHRC norms, human rights commissions are almost in all over the country, in democratic country, fine. So in India it is known as National Human Rights Commission. So see, National Human Rights Commission of India is an independent statutory body. Statutory body means, first of see, statutory body means I have also told you during the polity session that what is statutory body. If I have not told you, then listen me. See, all things have not been mentioned in the Constitution of India. Okay, all the things have not been mentioned in the Constitution of India. So those things which become necessary, okay, to make as law, so those are passed in the parliament and make as a statutory law. Those are not constitutional laws, but those are statutory laws. Okay, so this is statutory law. It is an independent body. NHRC is an independent body. Okay, the government has no control in it. If we can say it, government has partial it means impact on it. Definitely it can't be hidden totally, but it is an independent body, a statutory body. Remember it, a statutory body. Don't forget these facts. Okay, otherwise you are going to miss any number of questions. Established on 12th of October 1993. Don't need to remember the date 12th October. Just assume that in 1990s, during 1990s, okay, during the liberalization policy approx that time, this NHRC have also been established. Okay, the date is not important. Okay, the date part is not as important as regarding as the examination of UPSC. You can put these kinds of dates in mains. Okay, but even you are not putting it, those are not going to go in any separate matter. So date is not important, but approx date you must keep in your mind that during 1990s, okay, in early 1990s, this NHRC was established as a statutory body. Okay, as per provision, see, any statutory body will be formed only on some provisions. Okay, so under which provisions it will be formed? As per provisions of Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. Okay, in 1993 there was a act passed by Parliament, that act is known as Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So based on this act, Protection of Human Rights Act 1993, NHRC has been established as independent body, as a statutory body. So a question may also been asked that NHRC of India has been formulated on the provisions of Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So it is correct. Or if UPSC will also confuse you that NHRC has been formulated as a statutory body under some, they will provide some other act. Okay, so you have to remember this kinds of fact that Protection of Human Rights Act means Human Right Protection Act 1993. Based on this act, this NHRC was established. Okay, it is an important and statutory body. It has been amended in 2006 too. This Protection of Human Rights Act has been later amended in 2006. Okay, it's not an important one, but since you must, date is not important, that in which year it has been amended. The important thing is UPSC can even ask this question related to Vizag gas tragedy. UPSC can ask this question that even you are not thinking, but UPSC can ask this question. UPSC regularly ask this kind of question. Okay, you will see Vizag gas leak tragedy and you will skip this, and UPSC will ask this question that Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 was never been amended. Okay, so you will confuse that how it was related with current affairs. Actually it was related. Okay, but in some secondary way. UPSC is asking question in this way. So yes, it has been amended. Okay, in which year it has been amended, it's not the matter. Okay, it's not necessary things to remember those dates. Just remember that it has been amended. So I am moving to the next one that will keep some other details about it. Okay, so moving to the next slide. Now let's see. Headquartered of NHRC of India is located at which place? So it's simple one, it's located in the capital of our nation, that is New Delhi. Okay, so headquarter of NHRC is located in New Delhi. I hope there is nothing more to explain about in this slide. So moving to the next one. Now let's see, important one. National Human Rights Commission was established in conformity with the various principles adopted for the promotion and protection of human rights. See, I have already told you that NHRC was actually formed to protect the dignity, liberty of the individual, of the persons, okay, of each and every persons. So again I am reading, NHRC was established in conformity with the various principles adopted for the promotion and protection of human rights. Means some of the human rights, okay, there are many more human rights. So to protect those human rights and promote those human rights, both thing is necessary. Okay, if there are any kinds of human rights, there are number of human rights, and you have to continue those human rights in a modern way, then you have to protect those rights, promote those rights. Okay, only when these rights will be survived, otherwise this right will be not be survived. So see, a Paris, okay, a human rights in Paris, October 1991. See, a Paris one assembly has been happened in 1991. Okay, date is not important at all. Okay, fine, October 1991, don't remember these kinds of dates, but remember that in 1990s, approx 1990s, but just remember that approx 1990s, you can remember it. Okay, so approx 1990s means 1991, this assembly has been sitting in Paris, and a resolution has been passed that we should protect human rights all over the world and promote those human rights. Okay, so on those facts, actually India thought that we should also set up NHRC. That is why India has taken the steps to set up NHRC. So these are actually the backgrounds to set up the NHRC. So if UPSC can ask a mains question based on this current affairs of Vizag Gas Treaty, that what are the purpose behind establishing NHRC in India, then what will you say? Okay, you will not say na just simple answer like to promote, just to means to protect the dignity and liberty of the individual. This is a very simple answer. You have to be separate from others candidate. Okay, so you have to reply the answer that whenever assembly has been set up during 1990s or in Paris, then in that assembly it was decided that at the global level the human rights should be protected and promoted, and according to those resolutions India has also taken its steps and formulated National Human Rights Commission, NHRC. Okay, fine. So this is something else. Okay, something else from the normal answers. After that, and endorsed means in simple language, endorsed means what happened that if I have taken any decision related to in personal life too, okay, and I have told it to my parents that see I have taken this decision, okay, so if they will support my decision and say it's okay, you have to do it, you should do it, then it is saying that my parents is actually endorsing my decision. Okay, so the decision of Paris Assembly was actually also endorsed by the General Assembly of the United Nations in 1993. Okay, so your answer will look so much a differentiated manner if simple question will ask, what is the necessity to set up NHRC in India? Okay, so don't start to counting that India is freedom index is getting lower and lower and this kinds of, and that's those, okay, those facts are all normal one, all the students can present those facts, simple facts, but you will differentiate your answer only when, okay, only when you will put these facts that in Paris Assembly it was decided that during 1991 or in 1990s in Paris Assembly it was decided that all the global level, at the global level human rights should be protected and promoted, and this decision of Paris Assembly was also be supported and endorsed by the General Assembly of the United Nations, UN, United Nations. How much UN is important for UPSC, as all of you know. Okay, so important topic, United Nations. I will cover also this United Nations topic, but right now here, otherwise it will so bulky. Okay, so it was also supported by United Nations, General Assembly United Nations in 1990s you can say it. Okay, after that, at that time India thought that we should also set up Human Right Commission, that is India has set up NHRC, National Human Right Commission. So see how is your answer is totally going to be different from other candidates. In this way you should start the current affairs, reading a start the current affairs. Otherwise, if you will see newspapers, start gas tragedy leak, which gas? Stearin gas, which power plant? LG Polymer factory. Okay, I have completed this. Not at all. Okay, you are not going to qualify this exam, 100% sure. Okay, remember it. You will remember it when you will fail this exam, and then you have nothing about just means passing the time. Okay, so it's the time to hear me clearly. I am telling it for you, not for me. Fine. So I am moving to the next slide. I am erasing it. Something or more facts about NHRC. See, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR. I have already told you that human rights, there are some human rights at the global level. Okay, that each person has the should live with dignity, okay, liberty, okay, these kinds of rights, and other rights also, these are human rights. So there is a declaration on human rights that is known as Universal Declaration of Human Rights, in short form UDHR. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris Declaration in December 1948. So see how the setup of NHRC in India is connected to almost the time when India got independent. See, okay, no one is going to teach you in this kind of deep way. Okay, I am teaching you. Okay, so see, in 1948, at that time, in General Assembly of United Nations, and that General Assembly of United Nations has taken place in Paris. Okay, Paris in 1948, and in that General Assembly of United Nations in 1948 in Paris, Universal Declaration of Human Rights has been adopted, UDHR. Okay, after that in 1991 Paris Assembly, some human rights, it is thought that human rights should be promoted and protected at the global level, and that is supported by and endorsed by United Nations General Assembly in 1993, and after that India has taken it a step and set up National Human Rights Commission. Look, in which way now you are much more comfortable. If anyone will ask you that what is NHRC and what is the necessity to set up NHRC, then see how can you give your answers in a much better way. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see. Every year on 10th of December, every year Human Rights Day is celebrated or observed. Okay, what is celebrated? It means observed. Okay, so Human Rights Day is observed every year on 10th of December, which is the anniversary of the UDHR. UDHR means, now let's see, a question may also be asked in gas tragedy leak of Vizag. Even a PT question may be asked that Human Rights Day is observed in United Nations General Assembly in 1993. Okay, so its statement is incorrect. Okay, why? Because on, see the date, 10th December 1948 UDHR was actually adopted in Paris. In United Nations General Assembly can be set up in any location. So at that time it was set up in Paris. Okay, assembled in Paris. So in 1948, 10 December 1948, United Declaration of Human Rights has been adopted in Paris in United Nations General Assembly in 10 December 1948. That is why 10 December has been selected to observe Human Rights Day. Okay, throughout the global world. Fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. What is the logic behind this 10th December? Because UDHR was adopted on this day. Okay, so see how all the dots are connecting right now. From gas tragedy, from Astrine, what is Astrine, what is LG Polymer Factory, their history, the history of LG Polymer Factory, what are the positive aspects of Astrine, what are the negative aspects of Astrine. Okay, I have told you all the things. What is NHRC, what are the background of NHRC to set up in India, all these things I have told you. Okay, so right now I am moving to the next slide. See, it is now I will tell you about a structure of NHRC. It is the actually logo of National Human Rights Commission, NHRC. It's Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Okay, it's Indian slogan, and I have presented it so that you can never forget NHRC's figure. Okay, whenever you see this figure NHRC, and then you are starting to memorize the whole things about NHRC. Paris Assembly in 1991, United Nations General Assembly 1993. Okay, UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, 10 December. Okay, Human Rights Day, 10 December. So these kinds of facts you automatically generate inside your mind. Okay, by seeing these figures. Okay, that's why I put these figures. So what is the structure of NHRC in India? How many members and who appoint those members? So I will tell you right now, because this is an important part, National Human Rights Commission. So I should move to the next one. Okay, yeah, NHRC is the 7-member body, actually 8-member body, but in 8-member body one is chairperson, and apart from chairperson there are 7 other members too. So it's totally 8 members body. So what I have written here, that NHRC is the 7-member body excluding, not including, excluding chairman. So by including chairman it will be 8-member body, and when we will exclude chairman means when will we we will count chairman as its head, then we will say that apart from chairman there are 7 members body, but it's better to say that it's a 8-member body. 8-member body. Okay, it's better, far better. Under which 8-member body, one is chairperson and 7 other members, and from those 7 members 3 members are ex officio members. Ex officio members. These are not really important one, but I not so I want to tell you these things. So 3 ex officio members out of those 7 members. See, President of India appoints the chairman and all the members of NHRC. It is the President of India who will appoint all those persons of NHRC, the chairperson and all of them, but not according to his wish or desire. See, a high level committee will be formulated under the chairmanship of Prime Minister. See my words carefully. See this carefully and hear my words carefully. I hope I am audible to all of you. So a high level committee will be formulated under the chairmanship of Prime Minister, and Prime Minister will tell to the President that appoint these 8 persons in the structure of NHRC and appoint this person as chairman. Okay, so President will appoint only on the advice of Prime Minister. I have told you during the lectures of polity sessions so many times. Now see, what are the terms of those members? The term is 5 years. Even if you are chairman, it is 5 years. Even if you are a general member, it is also 5 years. Anyone can be removed for 5 years. If any kind of misleading things happen, any can be removed. Okay, that is the procedures. But the term is 5 years or the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. It means what? I have also told you during the, it means CAG and some Attorney General of India classes that they will retire whichever age is earlier. It means if anyone is joining on the age of 67 years and become the member or even chairperson of NHRC, then he will not complete his 5 years. Okay, whenever he will complete his 70 years age, he will get a retirement out of that NHRC. Okay, if that person is 65 years old or less than 65 years old, then this person will be played the role of NHRC, in the role of NHRC for 5 years, if not be removed. So whichever is come earlier, either 70 years of age or 5 years of term, okay, that is the term of all the members, for even the chairperson for the NHRC too. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Okay, see, I am taking the whole details about you. See, there is some now the Vizag gas leak tragedy is over. Fine. So I am coming to the second and last topic of today's session. Actually, today's session and tomorrow's session will be not a very large session. From the session of Monday, these kinds of session will be so much large, because I don't want to go in a single point of time of 6 hours lectures. Otherwise, you will be confused. You have to adopt yourselves in 2 days of 1 hour, 2 hour lectures. After that, you will analyze yourself. Okay, and then we will do 5, 6, 7, 8 hour lectures of current affairs. Okay, from Monday. So tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, it will be 2-3 points lectures. So see, the next topic of today is Mission Sagar. Okay, Mission Sagar. What is Mission Sagar? I will tell you all those things. See, here one thing is written. If we will able to zoom it, then I can show here INS Kesari. If we can able to zoom it, yeah. See, Mission Sagar. It's INS Kesari. It's the Indian Navy who has taken this responsibility. Which responsibility I will tell you, but Indian Navy has taken this responsibility, and Indian Navy used INS Kesari. There are so many INS Kesari, Sardul, and there are so many INS in India present. Okay, INS Kesari. So a question may come that during a Mission Sagar, which INS was used, either INS Kesari or INS Sardul or INS others. Okay, so the correct alternative is INS Kesari. So I want to zoom on those parts. Okay, if possible, then yeah. Thank you. Just okay, okay, fine. Thank you. See, it's the program of 1000 means means Mission Sagar. Mission Sagar means definitely related with water, oceans. Okay, Sagar. So it's the project of 1000 miles approx. 1000 miles approx. Actually, what happens here? See, here it is almost Mumbai. Okay, Mumbai port. Fine, Mumbai port. I hope approx that point. There not a larger one map, so that exactly I can show you. But almost on these locations, Mumbai airport is located. Fine. Not airport, Mumbai port, sorry. So from Mumbai airport, this INS Kesari has been moved by Indian Navy. Okay, so a question may also come that INS Kesari has been moved from Gujarat port, okay, or a Kolkata port or any other port. So don't confusion it. INS Kesari has taken its departure from Mumbai port. From Mumbai port, actually INS Kesari has reached to several other nations, that is Maldives. During the pandemic of COVID-19, remember the first wave in 2020 May month. What kind of lockdowns was going on and what are the situations at that time? At that time, India is helping other countries too. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, our government is playing really well on those fields about helping other nations. Okay, the nations of our neighbors. Okay, so it is Maldives. Okay, Seychelles and Mauritius, not over Mauritius, even some other countries, Comoros Island. Okay, Comoros Islands, Madagascar. Okay, Madagascar too. So it's Seychelles, Mauritius, Comoros Islands, Madagascar, Maldives too. India sent its aid through INS Kesari to Maldives too. Okay, so see, through those routes, Mumbai port, INS Kesari has travelled to these locations. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am just repeating it again. See, this is INS Kesari. See, this is INS Kesari, and it is managed by Indian Navy, under which so many doctors also available, so many food grains, medicines, other things, essential things has been shipped, okay, in the dockyard, and they has been transferred to from Indian Mumbai port, okay, from Indian Mumbai port to Maldives, Seychelles, Mauritius, okay, Mauritius, apart from Mauritius, Comoros Islands, Madagascar, okay. So in these kinds of nations, actually India had provided its aid at that time, and it was almost 1000 miles mission approx. So see how is India transforming its relations with its neighbor countries. Yeah, we are accepting that these are actually the neighboring countries which don't have much more influence at the global world. That's fine, but it's the duty of our nation to help the needy nations, okay, which is behaving in good way. It's the duty of our nation to help those countries, okay. So I am moving to the next slide. I hope the figures relating it is clear to all of you. So moving to the next one, and we will see something details about you. See, I hope I am not consuming much more time on that, okay. Now let's see, Indian Navy ships, these all the facts are related to Mission Sagar, okay. So see, so anyone question can be confirmed that Mission Sagar is a joint navy, okay, joint navy session of India and China, joint navy session of India and means Afghanistan, India and USA. No, Mission Sagar is something else. So what is Mission Sagar? Just understand right now. I have given an overview through those pictures, okay. Through INS Sagar, India has provided its aid, its help to its neighboring countries through the sea routes, IOR routes, Indian Ocean regions. What is Indian Ocean region? I will also tell you. So now let's see, Indian Navy ships carrying medicines. Listen all things carefully, and otherwise you will confused in Mission Sagar, because there are so many missions in 1 year that it's so difficult to remember all the missions. But since you are an aspirant of UPSC, so you must have at least keep in mind that this mission has been related with which field. At least you should remember it. So see, Indian Navy by Mission Sagar, Indian Navy ships, okay, by Mission Sagar through the help of INS Kesari, Indian Navy ships carrying medicines and necessary food essentials, food items towards countries in Indian Ocean region, IOR. So what is IOR? I will also tell you, okay, I will also tell you what is IOR. See, so move towards Indian Ocean region. If I am just going at a figure, okay, of India, fine, just a rough figure, just assume that it's a figure of if India, then see, here it is sea, okay, see, Mauritius, Madagascar, Maldives, all are located in this area, fine. So in, sorry, this is not, okay, if now little bit it's comprehensive, okay, don't laugh on it, it's just a rough one, fine. So since Jammu Kashmir is looking little bit large, but it's good for India. If India will occupy all the Jammu and Kashmir, it's Indian part, and if it's my choice to even increase in that, fine. So now it's time for being take it seriously. It's Madagascar, Maldives, Madagascar, Mauritius, all are present here. So through sea routes, India has supplied medicines, essential food items. Not only that, a doctors, a specialized team also was present, Indian Navy present in INS Kesari, and they traveled to Maldives, Mauritius, Seychelles, and Madagascar, Comoros Islands too. So through sea routes they actually provided the help and aids, okay. So in this rough way, I hope you are easily getting it that what is Mission Sagar. So stay on this slides, I am repeating it again, see, I am repeating it, fine, just see it. Actually through INS, the help of INS Kesari, Okay, the help of INS Kesari, Indian Navy ships carrying medicines, essential food items towards countries, toward which countries? Not land sharing body countries. Question may come that through Mission Sagar, India has provided its aid to the neighboring countries related to the land borders. No, not at all. Okay, towards these parts means sea section, Indian Ocean region. These are Indian Ocean regions. Okay, these are Indian Ocean regions. Fine, these are Indian Ocean regions. I will tell you all those things during the geography lectures, the whole things. Okay, if you are not getting it properly, you will get it all those things in the lectures of geography, 100% sure. After few days, we will going to start geography lecture, just finishing after the polity session. Okay, so let's see. Indian Ocean region including Maldives, Mauritius, Madagascar, Comoros Islands and Seychelles. So all these countries got help from India. By which mission? Mission Sagar through INS Kesari. Okay. So I am moving to the next slide. I hope it is clear to all of you. So see, in which detail I am telling you. I don't think so I can give much more details about regarding INS Mission Sagar or even Vizag gas related tragedy. See, now a special thing for Mauritius. India has provided the legal to all the means Maldives, Mauritius, Madagascar, Comoros Islands, fine, these countries. Okay, fine, Seychelles. But for Mauritius, India sent something special. See, there was a special consignment. Consignment means what? No, any kinds of assignment? Not assignment, it's consignment. It's not a signature type. Consignment means something has been packed and shipped from India to Mauritius under those consignments. So there was a special consignment of Ayurvedic medicines for Mauritius. So India under Mission Sagar, it is present. Under Mission Sagar, India has provided a special consignment for Mauritius of which kinds of things? Ayurvedic medicines for COVID-19. Okay, so see how India is helping its IOR regions countries. Okay, so it's really helpful for those countries. So a question may confuse by keeping Madagascar. Okay, Ayurvedic medicine in Madagascar, and you will mark yes, it is correct. No, it is incorrect. It is for Mauritius, and it is not for hydrochloroquine medicine. It is for Ayurvedic medicines. So question may confuse it. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Okay, fine. So I am erasing it right now. I hope it's time is okay, fine, not consuming more. So let's see about INS Kesari. So why it is INS Kesari, I have already told you. So we will not waste time on what is INS Kesari, who built INS Kesari, under which period INS Kesari was built. Okay, these kinds of information don't needed by UPSC. UPSC just want to know that if India has launched any mission, then what are the authorities are responsibility on those missions and who are the beneficial part of those missions. Okay, UPSC generally asks those things. What are the motives to help those countries? Is there any special motive or just helpful motive? So UPSC will ask this type of question. Okay, so INS Kesari helped a lot to provide those ads to all those 4, 5, 6 islands of 1000 miles mission Sagar. So moving to the next slide, it is clear to all of you. INS Kesari, remember this name, INS Kesari. Now see, hydrochloroquine tablet. This tablet also goes a little bit conflict between India and USA. If you heard news about India and USA, was at that time the president of America, Mr. Trump, has said in another way, in a much anger way to the even to the PMO of India and Indian nations, that we need India should send hydrochloroquine medicine during COVID-19, and after that India has supplied Okay, in India supply. It is the duty of India to help each and every country. Okay, India has always done that, and India will always do that. Okay, so it's the, see how beautiful our country is, really helping all the countries. So hydrochloroquine tablets was, at that time it is saying that hydrochloroquine tablet was really somehow effective in COVID-19 curing. So apart from all the medicines or Vedic medicine for Mauritius especially, even hydrochloroquine tablets has been distributed to all the nations considering under Mission Sagar. Okay, so it is a question may come that hydrochloroquine tablets has been given to only Madagascar in INS in Mission Sagar. So this statement is not correct. This is only not for Madagascar. This is for the whole, under which comes under INS Mission Sagar. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next one. Yeah, Mumbai port. So where this INS Kesari has departed, it is from Mumbai port. Mumbai port, I have already told you, from those figures I have told you. Okay, so don't wasting the time in repeating it. From Mumbai port, INS Kesari has departed towards the helping edge of approx 1000 miles. Okay, so moving to the next slide. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you. See, India provided all the facilities to all those IOR regions under Mission Sagar, but Maldives was the first country who got received aid and help from India under Mission Sagar. So a question may ask by UPSC under Mission Sagar that Mauritius or Comoros Island is the first country who received Indian aid under Mission Sagar. So no, it is incorrect. The correct answer is, it is the Maldives who has received okay, the first Indian aid in the under the mission of Mission Sagar. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So moving to the next one. See, now go 2 months back. It's talking about May right now. Now let's 2 months back. 2 months back. Okay, in March 2020, what actually happens that in March 2020, for Madagascar, in March 2020, India sent aid on his Sardal, INS Sardal. At that time, it is not a part of INS, Mission Sagar. It's separate from Mission Sagar. Mission Sagar started in May month. Okay, but before Mission Sagar, since there was some issues incidents happened in Madagascar. Okay, so India provided aid and help to Madagascar. India provided almost 600 ton rice to Madagascar. See how much quantity it is. 600 tons rice to Madagascar India has provided before the COVID, because of some other incidents have taken place in Madagascar. Okay, so question may ask that INS Sardul was also involved in Mission Sagar. No, only INS Kesari. But before Mission Sagar, just before Mission Sagar, 2 months earlier, actually INS Sardul was responsible for providing aid of rice of 600 tons. Don't remember the 600 tons facts. Okay, just remember that India provided food grains in large quantity to Madagascar because Madagascar was suffering from huge incidents taken place under Madagascar. That's why India has helped those. But India has helped those with which help? INS Sardul, not INS Kesari, and it is not under the part of Sagar Mission Sagar. It is a separate help. So moving to the next slide. See, actually what happened at Madagascar in that time? What incident took place? See, at that time Madagascar was affected by cyclone, and the name of cyclone was Cyclone Diane. Okay, Diane. So Cyclone Diane has really damaged the the infrastructure of Madagascar, that actually Madagascar needs food grains help. So India has provided 600 ton rice to Madagascar through INS Sardul in March 2020, but not under Mission Sagar, because Mission Sagar was launched 2 months later. Mission Sagar was specifically for COVID related, and this is for cyclone related problem, cyclone disaster, and cyclone name is Dane. Okay, Dane. See, Madagascar is located at such a place, okay, at such a place like India will finish here if, so Madagascar is located here almost, okay. So its cyclone is regularly coming here. Why? How? See, cyclone will not come any other place, sometimes happen, but cyclone generally comes at the same place wherever it is coming. How? Even anticyclone also comes on the same place always. Why? A very much technical thing it is, but it is an important part of UPSC. UPSC has asked this question, last year PT questions. You may ask that the eye of the cyclone. See, whenever I will teach you cyclone, it will take one class, cyclone and anticyclone. I will tell you the whole world map, okay, whole world map, under which where cyclone possibility coming is much more, and anticyclone possibility is also much more. See, there is just in one line, there is a eye of cyclone. Eye of cyclone means, see, cyclone is in this way, okay. So there is a eye of cyclone. Its radius is large also, not a small radius. Eye of the cyclone. So question asked that the radius of the eye of any cyclone is how much? Okay, how much? Fine. So see how this question has been asked by UPSC. Okay. So it is a really important part. So Madagascar is located at such a way, at such a location that where always a possibility of cyclone. So cyclone Dane affected and damaged Madagascar's infrastructure. Okay, food grains, their food grains. That's why not under Mission Sagar, but some other, not any proper mission, but just as a helping part, India has sent a 600-ton rice to Madagascar in March 2020 through INS Sardul because of cyclone Dane damaged the whole things of the Madagascar. Fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. See, these are the one-liner, but see how much things are outcoming from these one-liners. So I am moving to the next slide. I hope it is clear to all of you. Yeah, let's see. India has helped actually Madagascar from recent past. India helped Madagascar so many times, but in March 2020, through INS Sardul, India had sent 600 tons rice to Madagascar, and this consignment is actually the largest consignment, largest help, largest aid to the Madagascar by India in the history of helping of Madagascar by India. Okay, so the largest help, largest aid given by India to Madagascar, this one by INS Sardul, by giving him 600 tons of rice. Fine. So a question may come, see, that the largest aid given by India to Madagascar is under Mission Sagar. So it is correct or incorrect? It is incorrect. It is incorrect because I have already told you that this mission was not comes under Mission Sagar. Mission Sagar comes in May 2020, but this aid has been given to March 2020 because of cyclone Dane damaged the infrastructure and food grains of Madagascar. Fine. So this kinds of conceptual question is regularly asking. So moving to the next slide. See, now talks on Indian Ocean region. See, the Indian Ocean Rim Association, is something else of IOR, Indian Ocean region, but only after you will get Indian Ocean Rim Association, then only you will get about Indian Ocean region. So first of all, let's see what is Indian Ocean Rim Association. IORA, Indian Ocean Rim Association, see, is a dynamic intergovernmental organization. It is not an Indian government Indian government association. It is intergovernmental association, and 22 nations are part of it and 10 dialogue partners of it. Dialogue partner means they are not actually part of this association. Only 22 nations are part of this association, but 10 other states have also can also provided its dialogue, can share its matter. Okay, so these are the fact that 22 states had comes under the Indian Ocean Rim Association. Okay, this was actually formulated. See, IORA, Indian Ocean Rim Association, was actually formulated to provide aid the needy nations, okay, to hold a strong grip on Indian Ocean region. See, so we will see something details about Indian Ocean region. So moving to the next slide. Okay, yeah, see the vision for Indian Ocean Rim Association. So who has suggested to form Indian Ocean Rim Association? Who has suggested? Okay, which country has initiated and said that we should start as association as Indian Ocean Rim Association, IORA. So see, it is something wonderful. It is originated, this association has been originated by when a legend person has visited to India, that a late person of South Africa, that is Nelson Mandela. When Nelson Mandela came in India in 1995, okay, when Nelson Mandela visits these parts of Indian Ocean region in 1995, he suggested to formulate Indian Ocean Rim Association. Fine. Under Indian Ocean Rim Association, India covers some Indian Ocean region. Now I hope you are getting what is IOR. Okay. So I hope it is clear to all of you who initiated it. So I am moving to the next slide. Yeah, I hope so. Final students, today I have covered two important topics. Okay, and I am little bit sure that if current affairs, or see, I am sure either in preliminary or either in GS paper 1 to 4, at least one question will be asked from these two topics, either international relations or economic purpose or political purpose or geographical location purpose, or even in preliminary. I hope that at least one question will be asked related with those things. Vizag gas leak tragedy, a stearin gas, and the second one I have also teach about the whole things about NHRC, LG gas polymers, the whole thing, the whole lectures I have provided. Apart from that, Mission Sagar. Apart from Mission Sagar, I have also told you about a special package about Madagascar and Ayurvedic medicine to Mauritius, but that Ayurvedic medicine comes under Mission Sagar. But 600-ton rice given by India to Madagascar by INS Sardul is not under Mission Sagar. That is just a different kind of help. Okay, just a it's a human behavior, it's a humanitarian help by India. So see, tomorrow I will also take these 2-3 topic sessions, okay, or even 4 sessions, 4 topics. After tomorrow classes, we will do larger sessions of 5 to 6 hours or even 7 hours lectures of current affairs, under which we will cover 10, 12, 15 topics per day. Okay, see, I am not going to left any single topic of current affairs. Okay, note my word clearly, I am not going to left. If you cover these things, these lectures, you can crack any competitive exams by cracking a current affair question, by not cracking, I am not mentioning by other subjects, whatever your examination is. But if you are preparing according to it, then it's the most important one for UPSC and PCS exam too, all other PCS exams like JPSC, BPSC, MPSC, UPPSC, all other exams, this is really important. And apart from that, even banking sectors, SSC sectors, railway sectors, and some other sectors, these kinds of questions will be asked regularly. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. Today's session I feel very nice, entertaining session. Okay, something new apart from main topics, something new we are listening. Okay, so we will meet tomorrow again. Okay, so thank you students, we will meet tomorrow again. Thank you so much.